In 2011, Lydian International obtains a 40-year mining license in Georgia. According to Georgian legislation, the extraction plan was to be submitted within 2 years, but the Lydian Resource Georgia Limited Company requested the deadline to be extended for another 5 years. This deadline ended as well, and the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources Protection of Georgia appealed to the Administrative Court against Lydian Georgian Limited. As long as data on reserves are not clearly presented, we do not allow anyone to extract anything. For 6 years, they have not been able to submit the necessary legal documents for approval. If the company does not solve the problems within a reasonable time frame, it will be fined by the court, and if this situation continues, they will also lose their license. We went to the remote Zodi village community. The locals initially treated us aggressively. Hearing an Armenian speech, they had assumed we were mine operators from Armenia. I personally think that nobody can live in this village during extraction because it is a narrow gorge, not a large area. Enter the heavy equipment and it will be impossible to live here when the works commence. The village mayor spoke about Lydian Georgia Limited's promises, saying that the locals were not interested in them and that the village was largely against mining. You know that there are gold mines in many parts of the world, including in Georgia. We all know Kazureti's example. Our villagers have been there and witnessed what's going on in that area. Today, the situation from a medical point of view is poor. People, young people, die in Kazureti. Children are born with deviations. That's why our villagers were against gold exploration. We demanded guarantees. We were not given any. Last time we saw Armenian miners 3 or 4 years ago. Where there is gold, there is uranium. There's no need to talk about it. We all know. People do not want to leave the village when they feel the state got their backs. The state helps these people. People do not want to leave anymore. People who had left earlier are now thinking about returning.